Right now, we're definitely in that mother-son dynamic in our relationship. I want that gone.
I agree.
I want us to be equal, equitable partners, a team taking on everything.
Okay, I love that vision. As partners, not parent-child dynamic. I love that. Now let's go back to where you are today. If you continue the way that you're both going today, where are you 5-10 years from now?
Where we are right now.
Yeah. Same thing, just bigger numbers.
I think maybe we're in a better spot, but I think, again, Taylor has dictated how we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who needs to make the change out of the two of you? I mean, probably both, but who needs to primarily make the changes?
I mean, I'd say me. That's what I would say. I think that I need to be more reliable, maybe do more of the things with money that I say I'm going to do. And I think that'll make her feel better backing off.
What if you don't?
I think the mother-son dynamic will just continue until we part ways.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, do you agree with that?
Yeah, we've had a lot of discussions, and he doesn't really like to talk about this, but I have told him that if I don't think that things are changing, I don't think I can be with someone that I don't trust. And so I really don't want that for us. And so that's why I feel like we're trying to do everything we can to get on the same page.
What's this trust thing? You mentioned it a couple times, and this thing about like bringing money together. Like, what happened to this money? Is there something there with the trust?
So I got into gambling when I was about 18 years old.
Okay. What happened?
I got into it really bad. Definitely became a habit, an addiction, to the point where I was just, again, and someone who doesn't value money, right? It's not a great addiction to have, because I was just blowing all of it until I got that hit, that win, that big euphoric feeling. So when me and Taylor first moved in together and I had money from the house that I sold, I blew all of it. And not a lot of time.
How much time?
4 or 5 months.
Wow. How much money are we talking about?
Like 35,000.
Wow.
It got to the point to where my money got low. I took out a personal loan at like a 20-something% just to continue the lie. With addiction, there's lies, gaslighting, all of the things. And eventually there was a point where my back was on the wall. There was no more keeping it a secret and lying about it. Mm-hmm. So when I came clean to Taylor, or was forced to, I don't want to give myself credit like hey babe, actually I've been lying for something. That's not really what happened. What happened was there was no more room to move. And obviously she was very hurt.
Taylor, when did you realize something was wrong?
Even from the beginning, as soon as he received the money from his house, I had doubts. He would go back to his hometown, blow a good amount of money, and I would be like, what is going on? He's like, well, I just need to have fun. I need to do this. I need to do that. So we had a lot of talks about that. And then he had blown through everything. I didn't know yet. He had gotten the personal loan, and he was doing a Zoom meeting for his real estate, and he needed something from his email. And I said, don't worry, I'll find it for you. Keep going on your interview. I'm going through his email to find what it is that he needed. And I find an email about the personal loan. And I'm like, this seems odd. So I get him what he needs. He gets off the interview and I'm like, hey, I found this thing in your email. Like, this seems kind of predatory. Is this something that you're doing? And he's like, no, not at all. I was just seeing if I could qualify for this, And in my head, I'm like, I feel like this is bullshit. And then later he comes clean to me that like in that moment, he went to work and was like screaming, crying, throwing up in the car because obviously I found out. Even though he had convinced me that it wasn't like that. And then maybe 6 or so months later is when him and I had a conversation and I was like, is there something you need to tell me?
You're telling me it took him 6 months to come clean about it?
After he had taken out the loan, yeah. I think in total it ended up being a year from when he moved in is when I really found out everything.
What happened when you found out? What was it?
I was devastated because I never wanted to feel like a man was just living off of me. And that's exactly what it ended up feeling like. Because here I am paying for our whole life in hopes that you can save money, do your investments, pay for your real estate so that you can do everything you want to do. Because he's telling me that's what he wants, like that's his dream. And so I'm like, okay, like I'm in a place that I can absolutely pay for us while you're doing that. I mean, I did ask you to move down here with me. I asked you to give up a lot. So, that's the least I can do. And then I find out he blew $40,000 and wasn't paying me, wasn't offering me a dime. And so it felt so much like I was being taken advantage of. It felt like I was obviously not a priority. And then to keep up a lie for a year, knowing I was finding out little bits and pieces and I was just continuously getting lied to, gaslit, that really hurt our relationship a lot.
Where did you go from there? It seems like it would be really tough to recover from.
I think in a way we're still recovering from it. And I think that's why the financial stuff has gotten as serious as it is. These are questions I've asked myself, like at what extent is it going to stop? At what point am I going to have to be like, I can't? And a lot of times I don't like to think about that because I don't want that to be the case. I want this to work so badly. I want for this to be reconciled so badly. And my hope is if I tell him, hey, at some point I'm going to leave if you don't fix it, that he's just going to fix it because he loves me and wants to be with me. And it hurts a lot when I say that and things don't change, because then it tells me in my brain, oh, he doesn't love you enough to change the things. And he knows that at some point you're going to get sick and tired, and he's okay with that.
We've had that conversation, and I feel very trapped with that.